What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Tried to upload a video yesterday of well, not yesterday. I tried to upload a video today, but I guess the first part of the clip was corrupted, and when I uploaded, I stuck for like 40 seconds. Then I tried to re-upload the video, and I tried to move some files around and stuff like that, but it kept telling me that part of the file was missing. So I'm basically just gonna sum up what today's video was about. But the Blueberry is all-wheel drive. So most of y'all know me. I don't do shit if I can't do it for a deal. I pretty much did this whole car for a deal initially, and everything that I did before, as far as the front-wheel drive setup, was sold to fund the new all-wheel drive setup, and I pretty much only came out of pocket probably like $1,000 on it. And I bartered some labor for some parts and stuff like that, so it ended up working out for me. So I have a transmission in here out of a 2004 CRV. It is, I'm not sure how many miles are on it, but we're just gonna send it anyway. In Thursday's video, you'll see that I'm putting the motor and trans in the car. Today is just a short video on, you know, the fact that it's going all-wheel drive, so that when I do release the next video, it's not like, oh, well, we didn't know he was going all-wheel drive until today. So now y'all know. Today, Blueberry, it's all-wheel drive. So I am we got innovative mounts. So they're providing a diff mount, the whole engine mounts, because right now I'm missing a rear T-bracket right now, and the rear T-bracket is obviously vital. But before I do that, I have to change this rack out to a manual rack, because this car right here is also all-wheel drive, and this is the reason why I'm doing this setup, because he found a way to do a budget trail norm kit and diff mount, and then somebody else came to me about it, and then the company that they work for got on board with it. So I'm going to talk about that car in another video. It's super cool ass car. This all-wheel drive stuff is taking off, and eventually this car probably will stay on the channel for a while. I was gonna sell it until companies started coming on board with it. So he works for Drive Shaft Shop. He's making my the 1310 U-joint drive shaft, and he's doing my trailing arms for me, and we pretty much just traded labor on doing some stuff to his car, because he's like a LS guy and he's building his Hondas, and slowly but surely I'm converting my LS friends to Honda friends. So along with Innovative being on board, I will be taking the car to Charlotte to them so we can install the diff mount. I have a diff also. The diff came off the same car that this transmission came out of, and we'll be doing the diff mount there, changing the engine mounts there. I may change the steering rack before I get there, because I know to put the new mounts in, I probably have to drop the motor some. So, and if they got a lift, I'm working out here in the garage. I know I do most of my personal stuff here in my garage because it's easier for me to do it while I have my kids here. So I have a manual steering rack that I need to put in here, because if you look right here, manual steering rack doesn't have this, and the diff, not the diff, but yeah, the diff part of the transmission casing hits this part of the rack, and then the manual rack doesn't have this either. That car has a manual rack, and the reason why I knew I would need a manual rack is because I realized that the engine was at a super sloped angle, and when I tried to close the hood, the intake manifold would hit right here. So I was like, yeah, I definitely need a diff mount. Well, not diff mount, but a manual rack, because even when I did have the front wheel drive trans in here, I still had the same issue where the trans was hitting the steering rack and it would vibrate. Okay, as far as everything that I'm doing on the car, you can find everything on eBay. You can find the mounts on eBay and just buy either the Haspel or the Innovative rear T-bracket. The intake manifolds eBay. This thing right here is from eBay. The shifter box cables, the cable bracket is from eBay. This water neck is from eBay. I also have a billet idler pulley. It's from eBay. I bought an OEM post mount. It was from eBay. The head gasket's from eBay. I bought, well, this boost controller came, but flow. So this wire harness, bought from somebody local. Swap harness, eBay. K-Pro, I got it from Jason. Y'all want anything to do with this K-swap stuff, you can find everything you need to swap a car on eBay. You can even get an engine harness, a tucked engine harness for like 500 bucks from a company called TRC that makes the cheap ass swap harness on eBay also. As far as like the diff mount, not the diff mount, well the diff mount you can make yourself too. Well, not yeah, the diff mount you can make yourself too, because he made a DIY diff mount. I was originally going to go with his diff mount and his viscous coupler mount until I got approached by Innovative to do their diff mount and viscous coupler mount. So all of this stuff you can DIY. The trailing arms you can still DIY. You don't have to buy S1's kit to DIY, but the only thing you probably have to buy from them is the shock bracket, which I have one of those already, so I don't have to order one. But you can DIY most of this stuff. You just have to pretty much have a vision of what you want to do and just put your mind to it, and you can do it. But if you already have a front wheel drive car and you want to all-wheel drive it, the most expensive part about going to all-wheel drive is just getting the transmission. Because if you have if you can find rear discs from an Integra, you can modify those trailing arms. Even if you buy the S1 kit, it's still like $560. The diff mount, you can make a diff mount yourself. It's literally just getting some angle iron and cutting out the subframe in the car and welding it up. You can make the viscous coupler mount. If you get a Freelander viscous coupler, you can find them at the junkyard for $58. That's how much I got mine for. But if you have a Fleet Pride that's close to you, or like I said, mom and pop drive shaft place, they'll be able to make you a drive shaft for the car without a doubt, because the U-joints on this car are serviceable. That means that they can adapt to almost any upgradable U-joint that's out there. The yokes, the same thing. You can still get the yokes from anywhere. So what they'll do is they'll just cut your yokes off, put a chromoly drive shaft in it, and then from flange to flange, the flange on the diff and the flange on the transfer case both can adapt to a 1310 U-joint without using any spacer or anything like that. So you save a little bit of money there. So you can probably get a drive shaft done for about $450 to $700, depending on what route you make. I know Drive Shaft Shop charges about $700 to $750 for a drive shaft. I know S1 does a upgraded style one. I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but I believe you send them their measurements and make you one and they send you one back. But I'll be documenting every possible process of this car that I can, just to give you guys more information out there, because I'm not sure how many people really document putting these cars together. I know most of them just come out the woodwork and like, oh shit, it's a fast ass all-wheel drive car. So I'm gonna do my best to take as much video on this car and take you guys along the all-wheel drive process, and maybe hopefully inspire some of you guys to do the same thing. But as always, comment, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next upload.